Problems are illusions of the material world. Solutions are attributes of your immersion in the world of spirit. As you face a problem, remind yourself that you created it with one mind. You will solve it with another. Spiritual problem solving ultimately means examining the entire concept of energy in a new way. Generally, we think of people with high energy in terms of enthusiasm and tirelessness. I am suggesting you think of energy in a context of vibration and movement. In this formulation, energy is the speed of an individual's energy field. The idea here is that a higher frequency will aid in problem solving, whereas a lower frequency will intensify problems. By increasing the speed at which you vibrate, you move into those frequencies I am calling spirit, and away from those which are grounded in the material world of problems. Stephen Hawking, who may be the most scientifically enlightened mind on the planet today, has said, apparently common sense notions work well when dealing with material things like apples and comparatively slow-moving things like planets, but they don't work at all for things moving at the speed of light. Hence, if you want to access and utilize the energy which vibrates at faster frequencies, you have to be able to shift your energy at appropriate times out of good old-fashioned common sense. Valerie Hunt, in her intriguing book, Infinite Mind, Science of the Human Vibrations of Consciousness, concludes, I can no longer consider the body as organic systems or tissues. The healthy body is a flowing, interactive, electrodynamic energy field. Motion is more natural to life than non-motion. Things that keep flowing are inherently good. What interferes with flow will have detrimental effects. Think of it this way. Everything is in a state of motion. We appear to be sitting still, but we know that our planet is spinning once every 24 hours, orbiting the sun once every 365 days, and moving through space at dizzying speeds. The same can be said of your body. It is a field of vibration and movement which appears solid and motionless. All information that you receive comes to you through your senses. Your eyes, for example, perceive light, which is really a very fast vibration of air and electromagnetic particles. Your ears perceive sound, which is a slower frequency of air vibrations. Will you to examine that information perceived by your eyes and ears before your senses pick them up, so to speak? You would see that those vibrations have no evil or disharmony inherent in them. They are simply problem-free vibrations. But when you take them in, suddenly you say, what I hear is a problem for me. What I see is evil and terrible, and so on. In other words, you took in those problem-free, faster energies and processed them in such a way as to create problems. Now for the big leap, every problem that you face has a vibrational frequency and a movement to it. When problems collide with our slowed-down solid world, we feel the conflict as an imbalance in our energy field. Thus, diseases of all kinds represent a frequency and a movement just like everything else in the universe. Addictions, too, have a frequency of movement. Fear, stress, and anxiety, these are all frequencies. I believe we all have the potential to learn to increase the speed of our vibrations. In the slowest vibrations, we have illness and disharmony, and faster, but still slow vibrations. We have ordinary human awareness. Thought and spirit are found in the fastest vibrations. For the purpose of explanation only, I have assigned an arbitrary figure representing the frequency speed. A equals 10,000 cycles per second, B equals 20,000 cycles per second, and C is 100,000 cycles per second. Consider first your physical health. Most of your time is spent attempting to reach point B, where you will feel okay because you own absence of symptoms. Between point A and point B is where you take medicine, consult medical practitioners, and generally strive to get to a point where you just feel okay. Point C represents super health. You can do 500 sit-ups, run a marathon, and be toxin-free. Hypothetically, disease materializes at a very low energy frequency. Ordinary human awareness is what we call a normal frequency, and super health represents a balanced fast vibration, which has the ability to counteract disease frequencies. This can also be applied to your emotional state. At A, we find fear, anxiety, anger, and mental disease. At point B, your emotional well-being is stable and you feel all right, but any dramatic shift in circumstances or the behaviors of others could send you back into that frenzied world of worry, fear, guilt, and depression, and so on. Point C symbolizes perfect emotional health. Here, you know that no one can interfere with your bliss. The actions and opinions of others have no unpleasant effect on your emotional state. Realistically, the movement from A to C is a shift in energy frequencies, which you can cultivate and choose. When you speed your energy up, what you consider to be accidents and misfortunes are simply gone. In these faster vibrational frequencies, you are able to invoke intuition, insight, and other potentials which are dormant when you're in ordinary human awareness. There is one more element on this ABC continuum which I'm speaking about that plays a significant role in ending problems by accessing spiritual guidance. I'll call the third element in this example consciousness. At point A, the lowest level is ego consciousness. At this frequency, you resonate with an inner voice that you are separate from everyone else and in competition with the rest of the world. You are absorbed in self-importance and validate yourself on the basis of what you have, what you do, and what others think of you. Ego consciousness is a very slow frequency in which you feel distinctly separate from spirit. As you progress to average human consciousness, you reach point B on this continuum. Point B, I call group consciousness. Here you identify yourself on the basis of what groups you have chosen to align yourself with or been assigned to as a result of your birthplace, your ethnic identity, or your cultural label. In group consciousness, you have the frequency of awareness that categorizes life with phrases like, I am male, you are female, I am old, you are young, I am Italian, you are Chinese, I am Christian, you are Muslim, I am white, you are black, I am conservative, you are liberal. There are millions of these. On and on the groupings go, pigeonholing everyone into a frequency where conflict resolution is accomplished by determining who is right, stronger, better, or whatever. Wars are the outcome of group consciousness. Ancient enmities continue to flourish because of geographic boundary disputes, religious traditions, cultural practices, and so on. Every time you find yourself labeling others or yourself, if you're setting up a potential problem, it becomes you against whoever is in the other group. Illness becomes a battleground when you must fight that which is invading the territory that you call my body. Lack of prosperity is due to others having more of what you want. Point B, group consciousness, is a step up from ego consciousness. However, point B still keeps you squarely in the middle of a life that is not peaceful or able to nullify problems. At this frequency, having problems is considered a normal function of living. As you approach point C on the consciousness scale, you reach a place that I call unity or God consciousness, where separation is unknown. You see no divisions, and you know that you are connected to everyone and all living creatures. In this state of unity consciousness, you no longer view your life circumstances as problems. As you explore the presence of spirit in your life as a faster, more complex energy frequency, consider that the highest levels of the mind contain the capacities of insight, imagination, creativity, and spiritual consciousness. The mind is a higher contract, and it can be thought of as infinite. It is your mind, which indeed may be separate from your brain, that you are going to train to move at a faster frequency so as to bring spiritual solutions to your problems. Think about what it is like to be around people who seem to possess these highest capacities of the mind. A person of deep insight who touches your soul with their words and ignites feelings of love and appreciation is vibrating at a faster energy frequency. Deep insights do not have to be in an esoteric field such as quantum physics. I recall talking with a professional football player who had great insight into how to construct defenses against passing formations. I knew that he was experiencing life in his realm from a higher frequency. People who know how to be peaceful and loving, regardless of the outer circumstances, appear to have greater insight into how to live their daily life. They can have a profound effect on those whom they encounter. As you begin to consider this idea of faster vibrations being synonymous with spirit, remind yourself that we live in a world of invisible energy that we all take for granted. Think of electricity, radio, and television signals, microwaves, fax machines, cellular telephones. We know that we can send radio waves out into the atmosphere, bounce them off satellites, scramble and unscramble them, and receive information from the waves. As we increase the frequency of these waves of energy, we can send them to distant planets and perhaps all the way to God and back.